Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest stories. We start with Antoine Griezmann. Of course, it has been reported that Atletico Madrid do not want to pay 40 million euros to Barcelona for their attacker. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about this transfer news, claiming that Barcelona have entered talks to sign this 21-year-old Brazilian defender by name Wanderson de Oliveira Campos, who plays for AS Monaco. He's a right back. We are going to be discussing on that as well. So guys, as we get right into it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure to do so you always stay up to date with the latest. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Atletico Madrid are in a precarious situation in regards to their ownership of Antoine Griezmann. The Spanish Giants have signed the Barcelona forward on a 2-year loan deal last summer. The contract included a mandatory purchase option worth 40 million euros if the player features in 50% of the matches, with a minimum of 45 minutes between the games across 2 seasons. Last season, Griezmann featured in 82.5% of the matches, meaning Atletico Madrid may have to virtually leave him out on the bench throughout the 2022-23 campaign if they are to avoid paying the fee for the Frenchman in 2023. However, with Luis Suarez leaving the club, Atletico Madrid consider Griezmann a viable player for the club's attacking unit, and Los Colchoneros must get the best out of him if they are to regain their lost status in the title race in this new season. At the same time, the club are not too keen on meeting the mandatory 40 million euro purchase clause set on Griezmann's contract. This has been reported by Mundo Deportivo, which suggests the club are looking to reduce the overall valuation of that clause. While Barcelona are yet to respond to Atletico's overtures, there is a clear indication that the capital club have no intention to pay anywhere near the 40 million euros for the services of Griezmann, who was barely even a starter for Diego Simeone's men last season. The Frenchman was even left out on the bench in Atletico's opening game against Getafe. However, coming on as a substitute in the final half an hour, the attacker was able to break his scoring duck by netting the third goal in a 3-0 thrashing over Getafe. It will be interesting to see whether the little cameo compels Simeone to start him in future matches, although his performances should not deter Atletico Madrid from their attempts to lower the price tag of the star striker. Barcelona loaned Griezmann to his former club Atletico Madrid for 2 years. That was last summer, and of course the clause was pretty clear. Pay us 40 million euros if Griezmann play up to 50% of those games, whatever. And that is the case. Atletico have just done that, and they need to pay Barca that money by the end of the season. But now getting the reports that Atletico are reluctant to pay, I still don't know why, but it's the agreement in the clause of the loan. Barcelona will be expecting that amount of money, which will really help them to facilitate other things in the club. But Atletico don't want to pay. Griezmann is not a player that he once was. Diego Simeone does not really fancy him like, during his first spell there, as he was the undisputed starter all the time. But now we see Diego Simeone benching Griezmann in many matches. Does not really prioritize Griezmann again. I still don't know if that's the reason why they feel paying up to 40 million euros for Griezmann will be like a waste for them. But who cares about that? It's a contract, it's a clause that both clubs agreed when the loan was agreed. And the 40 million euros need to be paid, So it's not like Barca will be expecting something less. We need the money, because Griezmann have played a percentage of games that was agreed upon. All the terms have been agreed upon. And Atletico have no choice than to exercise that clause, paying up to 40 million. Now they are seeing it as too much. Why didn't they see it as too much when they were signing that contract? Or they were thinking that Griezmann would be a superstar like he did in the first spell over there? I don't think that will be any problem, but let's see how this goes. Barca are yet to respond to these claims. Mundo Deportivo have been the reports talking about this. Let's see end of the season if actually Atletico will refuse that they won't give up to 40 million for Griezmann. Griezmann is still a Barca player, still on loan, but as we have earlier said, a mandatory purchase option there worth 40 million euros. So Barca have no plan whatsoever to retain Griezmann to the club. Griezmann has no use again for Barca. Barca have already strengthened their attacking line. So right now we are talking about hoping for 40 million euro from Griezmann's head. But now getting this report of Atletico reluctant to pay is really surprising. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, AS Monaco right back Vanderson de Oliveira Campos is being considered as one of the options to reinforce the right side of defense, according to Joaquin Piera for Spanish publication Sport. The 21-year-old, who only arrived in Europe during the January transfer market, has been on Barcelona's radar since 2021, when Deco alerted the club of his availability. Back then, Barcelona decided not to explore the options as former Ajax fullback Nusser Mazraoui has been looked upon. But now the situation has changed. With Sergio Dest up for sale, Barcelona need to act and quick. In that regard, sporting director Matteo Alemany has already made contact with Vanderson's camp in order to understand whether the player will be interested in a move just 8 months after signing for Monaco from Brazilian side Grêmio for a reported 11 million euro fee. Now, the Blaugrana did end up missing out on Mazraoui back in the month of June, but the aforementioned outlet says they continue to monitor Vanderson's progress. So far, the management has received a good report from the scouting team as the 21-year-old has shown immense versatility. Known for his extreme physical strength, the Brazilian is capable of acquiring any position on the right side of the field, as it is made evident in his season alone, where he has been used as a right back, right midfielder, and even as a right winger in just 4 outings across all competitions. It must be noted that despite acquiring several offensive positions, his defensive play hasn't taken a hit, which is mostly why he continues to attract Barcelona's interest. But now, with only a few days left for the transfer window to shut, the Catalans are determined to bring in a new right back, as Sergio Dest is simply out of the game. For that, after missing out on Cesar Azpilicueta, the team has explored several options such as Thomas Meunier, Joan Foyt, Hector Bellerin, and even Manchester United's Diogo Dalot. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.